positions, if there's not like an immediate tactic, I kind of want to find everything that I want to do in the position and then kind of combine ideas. So I really want to play king b6, king b6, king d8, rook g5. So this is what I really want to play. And if king d8, rook g5, king e8, rook g8 check, exclamation point, guys, exclam, king f7, rook g7, right? Oh, because, sorry, he needs to stop this. So let's say he plays rook captures, then it's mate, right? So he has to guard against the mate. And on king e8, we don't play here to do that, we play here. Bam, bam. Then what ends up happening is we take. And now the only way to take, what is the only way to take, guys? Which one? One draws, one wins. Give you another 30 seconds. One draw and one wins. Which one should we take? Should we take with the F pawn or should we take with the H pawn? Only one wins. We need to be consistent with our answers and consistent with our analysis. I'll give you guys like another 20 seconds to try to answer this. If not, if you just want to take with the H pawn, alright, I will take with the H pawn. And Cortland, you are correct. You win a prize. E5. Let's say he tries to go. King C5. E4. Okay. What do we do? Take with the H pawn. Boom. What happens if you take with the F pawn? King D6. Okay, so Cortland, let's go over your analysis. Let me take with the H pawn. I like taking with the H pawn actually. So let's say E5. King C7. I think we get the idea. Hey. Oh. Do we get this? But we don't get this in time, right? Because it's always a check, so at least we draw. So I think we turned a position that was winning to draw. These are toughies, man. These are real toughies. Alright, so now that we know that we have this line, okay, G8 here, takes. Alright. I know I have to I know I'm missing something. There's something I'm missing. Okay. We do want to stay with the pawn. Okay. Stay with me, guys. Right, we don't play the D6 immediately. We want to combine threats. I think. And on D5. But it's the same thing. I think it's just a draw. King D4. He has to move his king. Right, King G8. King E3. This position looks kind of familiar. I think it's kind of looks like the last one. Kind of. King F7. King F4. King G8. King G5. He has to stop the checkmate threat. King F7. King h6, e3. Bam. We did it, guys. We did it. We did it. Oh, wow. Oh. So coming around and making him waste that move to go under the pawn so that he has to come back out because of our checkmate threat. Wow, that's a toughie. That is a toughie. We solved it, though. We solved it together. Is anybody else having any trouble with the stream or the stream cutting in and out? Joe Panther 2001, thank you for coming in. All right, so let's go into our next pose. That was a toughie. Look, if you solve that, I will send you a cookie. All right, you deserve a cookie. I will give it to you. Yeah, so let's always keep in mind that when they have a pass pawn, when we have a pass pawn and they also have a pass pawn, our king is blocking, but our pass pawns are actual pass pawns. Then we need to make the king go under the pawns when the pawns are on the 7th and 6th rank. That's the key, I think. Right? You make him go under the 7th pawn, and then you threaten checkmate, so he has to spend one more move that he could have drawn with, but now he loses. So we get them into a zigzag. Beautiful. That's a beautiful technique, and we need to remember that for the future. If you have any tournament games or any online games that features this, please whisper me them or add me on chess.com and send me a message with the position. I would love to see it, and I would feature it on here. Like, maybe I'll do a segment if I get enough of them where we go over people's games. I would love to do that. Not only does it help your chess by getting analysis, it helps our chess because we see different strategies and different ideas, and we can, especially if you annotate them. Alright, so it's white to play, white to move and win. And I'm going to start the music. I'm going to play one more of the song by FT, and then we'll go into some other songs. I don't have too many, but it's ready, set.
Sliding inside of you. Just from one touch, I got your legs shaking. Watching you drip from this love we making. Let me stop and take it down on you. I see that your spot, girl, don't you move. Girl, don't you move, cause I'ma take care of you. Cause we ain't gonna do anything and everything you like. And I promise, girl, that if you stay, you'll be alright. Just close your eyes and lay back, you'll enjoy this night. Just climb up on this, don't be shy, and hold it tight, baby, like. All you gotta do is stay the night, girl. And I fulfill all your fantasies, got you climbing on top of me, making love under them covers, baby. Please don't go to sleep, girl. Stay up, cause the nigga try to free you. I'ma grind to the beat, girl. Don't stop, cause the nigga tryna please you. And I fulfill all your fantasies, got you climbing on top of me, making love under them covers, baby. I'm just tryna be your whole world. Go lay up in my room and that's where you about to toke her. No, girl, don't get your head done. I'ma tie that ass to the bed just so you can't run. And I Swear to God, I crush a lot, that's worth the big pun. And we had fun, cause I hit that shit like 8 times. We have a great time. I know you heard it through the grapevine. A nigga packing, yeah, young nigga packing. And I beat it me like Billie Jean, I ain't no Jackson. And I swear I'm about that action. Them cameras flashing, but break that pussy down and treat it like a fraction. I'm fantastic. All you gotta do is stay the night, girl. And I'll fulfill all your fantasies. Got you climbing on top of me, making love under them covers, baby. Please don't go to sleep, girl. Stay up, cause the nigga tryna freak you. I'ma grind to the beat, girl. Don't stop, it's the nigga tryna please you. And I fulfill all your fantasies. Got you climbing on top of me, making love under them covers, baby.
Alright guys, we are back. So I think what Ninja Magix was saying is just King G3. I don't know, like I find that B5 is really tough to deal with. King F3, B4, King E2, B3, King D3, F5, King C3, D4. And if you were here for the rule of the floating pawns, you would know that this is kind of dangerous for us. At least it's a draw. Okay, and I think it's a draw because you just keep checking. But you keep checking here on the... Here, no. Maybe I have to come up on this. Anyways. Or we can even play this. Maybe we need to take that with check, right? So... Maybe Queen F5 check. Check from the side. King A4, Queen C2 check, and we keep checking, right? King A3, and Queen C1. Let's just play here, the easiest. Okay. So I don't know about G3. Okay. Let's see if there's any more answers. Oh no! Wait, FFS. E4 is a draw. E4 wins though. I'm an idiot today. That's how I feel every day. Every day that I'm watching this, it's like, oh man, I don't want to make an idiot of myself teaching chess online, but then I can't do the puzzles with them. That's how I feel. But you know what? If I can't do a puzzle, and I think that's happened on one of the occasions, if I can't do a puzzle, I'll say, hey, I can't do this puzzle right now. Maybe I can't calculate it properly. Like, especially teaching chess all day, I get chessed out. I get really chessed out. So things happen. Just come back the next day and say, hey, I'm gonna look at this problem again and I'm gonna try to solve it. I found, and I don't know if this is correct or not because I don't have the answers here. The exercises do not have the answers in the text. Okay, so this is what I found. E4, D captures E4, King G3, E3. And then you can either play King F3 or King F. Well, I'm gonna play King F3. Also, they don't have to play this immediately. They can play like a B5, but then King F4, and then E3, King takes it, and D4. Right, we can take this. And on F5, then we play King B3, and then we're in the square of the pawn. Okay, so King E4, King F4. Let's say they play B4. Then we have a pretty simple win. because of the ideas that we have from before. Is that check? If they take here, then obviously we can just take and take everything, right? If they take our queen, they're not in stalemate. They have a whole bunch of moves, and this pawn's in the way. Cool. And the reason I saw that is because I was looking, okay, what, I don't want him to cover this square at the end, my mating square, right? So e4, d4, and that allows me to get like an extra tempo instead of playing this immediately, right? And then b5, right? And now that covers my mating square, right? I was like, okay, let me cover this so that if he takes, I take. And sorry, let me just go into chat. Thank you for hosting. E4, d4. Thank you for hosting for one viewer. Maybe you didn't, maybe you did, but thank you. All right. So you said if e4, then d4. Well, e4, d4, then I play just king g3, right? And he still doesn't have that mating square. If he plays d3, king f2, we can go after both pawns, and this is just winning. If d2, well, let's say b5, right? I mean, we're just winning on all fronts. Yeah, I don't think we even have to calculate this. We can get this pawn, we can get this pawn, and it's pretty simple. So I think he's obliged to take. Yeah, and then after that, we just play our king in. Whatever you want to do. Let's say you play here first, and let's say e2, b5, king e3, b4, and then we can come catch it. And then we take this pawn, we'll come back over. So let's say b3, king c3, f5, and king captures b3. If f4, then we can just, and we're in the square of the pawn, right? Alright, cool. So if e4 takes, all we wanted to do was gain time with this. Now we're everywhere. We're threatening everything. Yeah. Cool. Alright, let's go over, so the next part of this is the pawn endgames is stalemate. And I'm going to read from the text, I'm going to set up the position, and we'll look at some stalemate stuff. Stalemates are so awesome because a lot of the time I'm losing my games, and I'm always looking for that one stalemate trick where I can trick my opponent, maybe give up or sacrifice a queen or a rook or something so I can get stalemate. So stalemate's such a useful resource to have when you're losing a game. And then let's do a new analysis. So yeah, so that e4 was tough to find because I was trying to calculate how to get all the pawns, but then he also sacrifices with d4, so I had to be careful of that with the drawing idea. So I think, yeah, e4, just stopping that queening thing, and then also giving my king time to get there. So dual threats, I think that's a good theme, a good thing to think about when you're doing pawn endgames, is like, how can I get two ideas at once going if the simple one doesn't work already. So let's okay, and okay, so this is called the Stalemate Refuge, and this is from the text. When there are only a very few pieces left on the board, stalemate becomes one of the most important defensive resources. Remember the king and pawn versus king ending if nothing else. Out of the many possible stalemate situations, it's worth noting the following. What rating am I? Oh, Ninja Magic's just followed. I didn't get that. I'm sorry. You are the man. I am. So, oh, it just came on stream right now. Stream 11, so it's a little bit faster, and it's delayed. I'll try to fix that next time. My rating is 1870, I think, USCF. It's around there. It's like 1870, 1880, or 1868, something around 1870. But I haven't played in a tournament in like forever, so that might mean I'm like 2500, or that might mean I'm like 700, right? But I'm always studying. Like I'm studying about 3 hours a day, and I was like, yo, if I'm already studying, why not just give chess lessons, and I can learn, you guys can learn. It's a win-win for everybody, and you know, you learn what you teach, or yeah, you learn what you teach better. Yeah, you learn what you teach better, because you have to kind of make sense of things and then teach it. So let's go over this one. And Ninja Magix, what is your rating? If you have one. And you can use your chess.com rating if you don't have an in real life rating. And it is black to move. And so I'm just going to read right from the text. The loss of the c5 pawn appears to be inevitable. However, black can still save himself. Let's see. King b6. King d5. Winning this pawn, right? Or trying to win. a6. King d6. King a5. And the pawn is untouchable because of stalemate. He notes that transpositions of moves by a6 would be a grievous error because of a5 exclam, winning, eliminating the king's stalemate refuge. Yeah, that's kind of ingenious, actually. King b6, stopping that. Wow. You can't even play here because if it takes, then still takes his stalemate. Or you can just win, right? You can just go back. That's amazing. That's a beautiful stalemate trick. So hello. And we can't do anything, right? Because he always has that square. Yeah. Wow. Beautiful. That's a beautiful stalemate trick. In the following endgame, we shall see, besides stalemate, other techniques we saw earlier. Ooh, I love it when he mixes ideas. That's going to be a beautiful thing. FIDE is 2,000 somehow. Chess.com is about 1,800. All right. But, you know, welcome to the Chess Master Squad. We'll get you into at least Master. And we'll be studying. We'll try to study at least 4 to 5 times a week. Oh, so now that a lot of people are here, what do you guys think? On Friday, I'm finally going to be free for a day. And I want to do a stream. I was thinking between 8 or 12 hours. What would you guys prefer to see? 8 or 12? I can do both. And depending on how I feel, you know. And if you can also whisper me if you don't want to do it in chat. I'm looking for the 12-hour. Originally I wanted to do 20-hour, but I was like, whoa, let's not get crazy. I don't want to commit to something that I can't do. So I think 12 hours is what I'm pushing for. But if you think that's too long, let me know. Well, and I'll set up the position while you guys deliberate. All right, and it's white to move. It's white to move in this position. We can see that the knight is dominated, right? These are the things I try to look at before I even start thinking about the position. What pieces are not good? So this knight's dominated. And the king cannot get there, right? Wow, okay. Okay, sorry. I was just calculating this position in my head. Sorry. Went off on a tangent. If you do 12, I'd probably show up at some point. Alright, we got one vote for 12. And if there's nobody else, then I think it wins. Alright, so D4 breakthrough, obviously. And knight G6, exclamation point. And of course not. So he says, of course not CD, where C5 and the pawn queens. Right? I'm gonna get a girl. So D4, knight G6. D captures C, D captures C. Bishop captures G6. He notes that D6, knight E5. And now it's white who must work for the draw, because the knight is very effective. So king captures G6 and king F2. Here's the position we know: the protected versus the outside pass pawn. Yes, we know this very well. White, and hold on, white can't get a zigzag position. King's at H4 and G6 with black to move. Therefore, he will have to trade his D pawn for black's H pawn. This exchange would have led to victory if black's pawn were on A5 instead of A6. Is the pawn on A6? Did I mess that up? No, the pawn's on... Oh. Or white's pawn at A4. Oh, this one. Or if white would have had his pawn here. Okay. This is how you get the stalemate. And this is going to be some pretty good technique. King F6. King G3. King G5. King H3. King F5. Sorry. King F5. King H4, King G6. We can always step into the square of the pawn, right? Because the square of the pawn is going to be here, right? King F6, King H4, King G6, D6, King F6. Takes King E6, King G5. King captures D6, King F5, and we know how to draw this. We know how to draw this. King G6, King F5, King C6. Oh, King C6. King E5. King B6. King D5. King A5. So that just combined like 3 different things. That was pretty cool. Okay. I'm going to leave a position on the board that I think is let's see, a really interesting position. I want you guys to solve it. It's nothing to do with the end game, but it's just a small tactic that appears sometimes. So And this is it. I'm gonna give you. I just thought it would be really interesting to do this with you guys. I'm gonna give you about 3 minutes, and I'm gonna get some water. Sorry, guys. I'll leave you with this. I'm gonna put some music on, and if you have any answers, just solve it. I'll be right back, guys. All right, we're back. We're back. So before we get back into our thing, this is just a little tactic break. The tactic is bishop captures, king captures, knight check, and no matter where the king goes, doesn't matter where he goes. If he goes here, then hello, we get the queen, right? Let's say he goes here. Hello, we get the queen again. We also got this check. Let's say it goes here. Hello, and then go here, because then knight captures e7. You can play queen f7. You can play this, and we're just waiting. Cool. Alright. Time for our tragic comedy. Whoa, that Italian guy cheered 40. What? We got the big bucks over here. Nice. Thank you. Thank you for the support, that Italian guy in Japan. Really appreciate it. Appreciate you. Alright, so now let's go into this tragic comedy. Like, you guys are like really making my day today. Like, I don't know what's happening. You guys are amazing. I love you all. It's such a good feeling, you know, like just to be loved. And thank you guys for chilling with me and hanging out and studying these endgames. Alright. So let's just take a second just to try to figure this out. So, Okay, Chigorin. This is Chigorin versus Tarash in Ostende, 1905. Okay, and yeah, we are pretty awesome. Nah, you guys are amazing, and thank you so much. So I'm gonna read from the text. The draw is obtained by constructing. What is this? What, another? Yo, King Dave coming in with the 2 bits. Okay, so the draw is obtained by constructing a stalemate refuge by playing King G4 and not G6. Because if G6, then H5. Hello. And you can't make the stalemate refuge. Okay? So first, King G4, King E4, King. Then you should play G6 here, right? G6, H6, and the pawn is untouchable. King H5 still. Right, so that's how the draw should have went down. But actually, this is the tragic comedy, so it kind of tricked you guys. It's not an exercise, it's a tragic comedy. And of course, we messed it up. We messed up this easy endgame where we obviously see that we can make refuge here. But yeah. So let's see. The game's continuation was G captures F, G captures F. King G4. King E4, King H3. King F4. White resigned. Yeah. I mean, that's kind of bad. I'm sorry, Taraj and Chigorin. I actually play the Chigorin variation of the French. I mean, that's an amazing line. Thank you for the contribution, but that was bad. All right, and let's set up the next one. Oh yeah, it wasn't a triangulation problem. Sorry, Ninja Magics. Wasn't a triangulation problem, but it was a really interesting one. Let's see. This is Aronson and Medness in 1953, USA, 1953. Okay. So the exact same position as in the previous diagram, except with all the pawns 1 rank lower. Here, King G3. Oops. Let me. It's white to move, right? Yeah, white to move. Here, King G3, King E4. G5 would be a mistake in view of H captures G. F captures G. Oops. G3. King E4. So not E3 immediately. G5, H captures, F captures, King E3, and where are you going, buddy? Hello. Okay. On the other hand, G5, H5, King G3, King E4, and King H4. Draw. Okay, so note that when the pawns are on the 7th and 6th rank and your pawns are on the 5th and 4th, it's a draw if you bring your king closer. But If it's not, then you should play the g5 first, so they don't take. They have to push because you're threatening to get a queen, and then you bring your king over to the stalemate refuge. So the game actually continued. H4, and he played H5, saying, "Hey, where do you take? Because I have opposition, baby, and give me all your pawns." All right. We have some exercises for you guys. Some beautiful, beautiful stalemate exercises, which are somewhat stale. All right. Let's go over this. And guys, if you know anybody who would benefit from these streams, who I think is good enough, I think if you're pretty much, if you know how to play the game, I think my lessons would help you. If you don't know how to play the game, well, you gotta read a book. You have to read a book. I might do a beginner stream one day, maybe. I mean, I feel like if you're already looking at chess, you should already know how to play chess, you know. But if there are enough beginners, I'll do one. Okay, so this is black to move, and just make sure everything's okay. Yeah, black to move, and let's do it. Ready, and I'm as soon as the music starts. Alright, welcome back, welcome back. I see an easy win for this. I mean, obviously you just have to play king f4, right? Covering this square, covering all these squares, because the pawn covers here, king covers these two. And if they play a5, then we can simply just play king e4. We have opposition. On a3 we play king f4 again. But let's go over it. And let me go over my calculations on king g4. That's what I started doing before, and I was like, why even allow him to do anything. So let's go over king f4 first. So king f4. Right, they can't come up. Looks like they're gonna lose the pawns. a5. So the trick is, I think, is not to go after these pawns, but to, I mean, just get opposition. Because if you go after these pawns, then it's a draw, I think, after king e3. Sorry. Because he can create a stalemate trap. Let's say h5. And create a stalemate trap. Right, he's in stalemate. Okay. So king f4, a5. So he's trying to create that wall. King e4. When he plays a3, king f4. Now, what happens if he tries to just go there right now? Then I play king f3. King e3. King d3. Let's go back this way. And if a3, then we have this, and now he can come here, and he gets mated. Next, if we play king g4, then on a5, just draws, because the king can't come around to get this pawn, right? So really interesting puzzle. Like, let's say h5 and this, and yeah, draw, because it's stalemate. He can't move here, he can't move here, pawns are blocking his way, this pawn's blocking here. Very nice, and none of his pawns can move, so it's stalemate, so it's a draw. Alright, and the next one, so we have to always look out for these stalemate traps. So can we play a5 immediately? And I think king e3, and now we can win the pawns, right? Protecting our pawn, right? Maybe, yeah. Maybe that's the right one. Nice. So we don't want to allow white to win. So yeah, I think king f4. So king f4 just came in my mind immediately, because I was just like, why even allow him to go to this square? And this focuses on both plans, right? Instead of king g4, which is just one plan. Really, really interesting exercise. Alright, let's go into the next one. And then after this, we are done. We have done our lessons for today. And thank you for those who are sticking it out to the end. You know, you get these classes, and you know, maybe in 3 months you'll win a tournament, win some nice prize money, you know, or a trophy. All right, and this is white to play. White to play. Okay. Black's going down, right? So black's going down. Oops, not that down. Okay. All right, so let's analyze what this. Okay. Let's solve it together. Let's put some music on. Sorry guys. Sorry guys. Sorry about that. Gotta make a new window. Also linked is my YouTube. That is channel 1. I upload all the videos that you see here onto YouTube, so you can watch them at your own leisure and pause them when you need to. And I'll also give you guys and also follow me on Twitter to know when I'm going live a few minutes before. I usually post 15 to 20 minutes before I stream, and I'll give you guys a tweet. Also, the guy who's in my chat, that Italian guy, does a lot of live streams for Japan. So if you're interested in that, go to his channel and check him out. FC Twilight, I mean, he didn't make this song, but he was making all the club banger songs that I was listening to. And I think that's why I was getting most of my answers right on the chess puzzles. So yeah. That's Twilight, that's right there, so you can go to his link. Oh no problem. Yeah, I really enjoy going to that Italian guy's in Japan streams. He streams like games, but then he also does like live streams. He's in Japan right now. I used to live in Japan, so I just love it. Just love the content of both of those guys. F Twilight is the Tekken player. So hopefully you guys solved it. Let's put this down, and I'll put this down so you guys can. Awesome. If you haven't already and you do like the content and you like free chess lessons online, hit that follow button. It really helps me out and tells me, hey, I like what you're doing. Alright, so it's way to move. I was just thinking b4 immediately, and on king d4 we can just play c3. The reason is he can't take it because we're going to make an outside pass pawn, right? Hello, and we get a girl, right? Right, so c3, king d5, and then we can play king g5, stopping the pawn. And on c5 we can just play b5. Fair enough, right? C4. Oops, c4. King h6, stopping the pawn from moving. King e6. It's kind of funny because it looks like the king can go through, but he really just can't. And let's say king e6 can catch h7. King, oops, white just wins there, and he gets opposition, and that's why we're going here. But we can do some like little king g8 maneuvers. I think this should be a draw. And he can't get this, right, because he has to stay within the square of the pawn, and he is not within the square of the pawn, so he needs to be in this square or be able to get there in one move, and he can't. So he needs to do distant opposition. So he needs to do two strategies, right? So king d8, king h7, king d7, king c7, king d6. King. Let's say king here. king d5, king h4, and then if king d6, maybe we can play. Maybe that's fine. I don't know. King e5. Then maybe we can get this. King d5. We play here, and then on. Oops. King e5. King e3. King f2. King f4. King d6. And king d4. Alright, so he can't even do that. Alright, but anyways, it should be a draw if he plays it right. Okay. And that was the last example. If you guys want to play me, please send me a friend request on chess.com. I will play you.